What is going on, guys? It is Arcs Guns, and for today I have a review for you on the Steiner MPS. And I have very much enjoyed shooting this optic. It is super awesome. But before we get into the review, man, I'd like to ask you guys to please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. It keeps my channel growing. It keeps me wanting to keep going, and I really appreciate it. But to say no more, let's go ahead and hop right into this review. To get into the review of the Steiner MPS, we're going to go ahead and break this down into three separate subjects. And for those three subjects, the first one is going to be specifications, ergonomics, and mounting. And we're just going to go over some key specs in regards to the optic, like battery life and stuff like that. Then we're going to talk about the ergonomics, how it looks like, and mounting, which is very important. Next is going to be pretty much zero durability and sight presentation, and just how did I go out through shooting out there in the range. And my last one's going to be just my overall conclusion. What do I think of the Steiner MPS and other showings out there in the market, and just my shooting experience of this. But yeah, man, let's hop right into this review. So for specs on the Steiner MPS, I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys a quick little list of all the specifications and things so you guys can get a good perspective of it. I actually think that this is a fantastic optic and that it has awesome features. And there are some features in there that I do not really like, and there's some that I just wish they're just missing. They're just not including. But to get into the first specification for this thing, the first thing that we're going to tap into is going to be battery life. According to online, it has a 13,000 hour battery life, which if you compare this something to like the Aimpoint, which has like an incredibly long battery life, it's like 5 years plus, literally. And if you look at the Holosun 509T, which can have up to like 50,000 hours, which is significantly more than this one. We're talking about almost nearly 5 times more than the MPS. It does lack on the battery life. Also, in regards to specs, it does have a feature where it will auto turn off, which you can turn on, it'll auto turn off, which you can turn off that feature so it doesn't auto turn off, is what I'm saying. But it doesn't have any shake and wake or anything like that. So you will have to go ahead and manually physically turn it on every day, look down your thing, and just make sure you're good to go, unless you always leave it on. And then you got that battery life for 13,000 hours. And when it goes to the auto turn on, it just does not have one, so you just need to make sure you turn it on and check it out. Which, to be totally honest with you, that's actually not a problem for me. I know it is a problem for other people, but usually when I pick up my firearm, one of the first things I do is pretty much check the chamber, and I check my dot, make sure it's all running and good to go, and then I good to go. So that's not a big thing for me, to be totally honest with you, but I know it is for other people, so I'm bringing it up on there. But for me, one is not in particular. The battery life, yes, but the other one, not so much for me. In regards to the ergonomics and just pretty much how it looks and mounting, it's mounts similar to the 509T. Super awesome mounting brackets, which I like. Just like it has this one bracket right there that goes and mounting clips onto like a center bar on the plate, which I'll show all the stuff on there. And it just mounts really awesome. As you guys know, I had this mounted on the Walther Q5 steel fringe, which currently right now, let me snag that one so I can show you guys. I'm running now the Holosun 508T red. And I have these co-witness plates running from C&H, and just looks sick. So this one's set up this way in this manner. I have this one. I've ran Churchicon SRO, MPS, and now the 508T. So I like to swap optics around. And now I'm running the MPS because I wanted to shoot it out some more so I can have a good amount of rounds through it. And I also wanted to obviously take the Springfield Prodigy out, as you guys can see. Because I'm putting down rounds down this, and I'm gonna have this review for you guys. If not next, the one coming right up, so it's right up there. I'm gonna actually go do one more range day, and that'll be it for this one. And I'm gonna also be finishing up right here the the Aimpoint Acro P2. But mounting was actually super amazing. No problems at all whatsoever. It works great, just like the other one. The one thing that I will notate in regards to ergonomics and some of the features, that these buttons are really nice. I mean, these buttons just feel great in the way they're set up, that they look good. And I like the way that this optic looks. I think it looks great. But I really like how those buttons look. To adjust it is really awesome and really easy to do as well. All the turrets and the buttons are easy. And same with the mounting option. I really like, they give these screws, which is what I like compared to like Armada. These screws are nice, thick old screws. And they really that you just know they're not going to give out on you and strip so easy, because just nice thicker screws. And the 509T and this one both share those nice thicker screws, which is nice for mounting, because you can take it on, you can take it off, and then that's a thing that sometimes can cause problems, which I really do like. But yeah, mounting, ergonomics, specs, this thing was not too bad. Some of the specs obviously is not the best, like battery life, but it's not awful. It could be way worse. And to be totally honest with you, that's still a pretty long time, man. That should definitely last you close to a year. One last thing I want to mention also is I like how it has the top loading battery feature up there, which is pretty cool, which actually allows the dot to sit much lower, which is pretty awesome compared to the 509T, which is on the lower bottom side. But yeah, that's everything for this first section on the Steiner, and let's go ahead and hop right into zero durability and sight presentation. I had zero issues zeroing this at all whatsoever. The one thing that I did notice was when I went to go first, because I had it zero into the Walther Q5, and I always felt like on the Walther Q5 it had like just a very slight candid slant on it, and it felt like it was tilting a bit, and it just always appeared like it looked that way. After taking it off and really looking at it, it was. But anyways, when I went to go mount it on this one's all nice and sitting out flush and perfect. I noticed that my dot was like sitting like super high up, so I had to bring that dot down. Like, I mean, I adjusted down. It was like 16 clicks literally on this thing, like 16 times just to bring it down much closer. And then boom, after I think I did a total of like 25, 30 rounds. Right around there, I got it all really nice, down, tight, packed zero, which I like, because usually even after I get my zero down, I like to really reconfirm it a couple of times and just make sure it's nice and tight, just to eliminate pretty much human error out of it. And I like multiple confirmations that it's running perfect and feeling really good. So once I am satisfied with my zero, man, I'm go ahead and I'm ready to go. And I had no problems with the zero on it. In regards to the durability for this thing is highly regarded to be very durable, similar to the 509T, 508T, Trigicon RMR, and being that it's a closed emitter, which is absolutely awesome, and you guys know I'm really enjoying this. It is absolutely awesome. The closed emitter aspect allows you to be protected with, rain, snow, something worse like mud, let's say, because that will definitely get in there and obscure the optic, or maybe cover the laser or the LED or something like that. The laser, excuse me. But yeah, closed emitters are awesome, and the way that this one looks and is set up, I really do enjoy it very much. Which is absolutely awesome, man. This thing is very durable, and this thing has it was very easy to zero. For sight presentation, it was absolutely really easy to capture. Not only was it actually easy to capture that sight and bring it right up, it actually has one of the largest windows in there. If I'm not actually mistaken, this has the largest windows of all the close emitters up right now. In regards to, well, I shouldn't say right now, but in regards to at least these three that I do own, I believe this is the largest window for the bunch of them. It does have the largest, I would say, some of the larger walls, and the reason why it has some larger walls is because if you're looking at it even from the front side, let me take this out of here. Let me show you guys it is empty, so this way. You can see it's kind of thick, and so the walls are a little bit thicker, but it's got a nice large window out there, and I'll probably show you guys on the videos out there. But outside of the walls, man, the windows are nice and thick. It's really easy to bring up, show, and be able to show that presentation and bring it right in. I do have some awesome footage of where I'm coming in and I'm shooting it with these glasses that I ordered to give it a try. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use those particular again. I think I'm going to try another pair because I didn't quite like the quality, but I was able to show you guys how quickly I was able to bring that up and get some shots in. I was able to get quick shots to the chest. I was able to get quick shots as like headshots. I mean, it's really easy to bring up. As a matter of fact, it is just as nice as the Holosun 509T to bring up and present. It just comes right up and it feels very natural and very easy. This one, to me, when I bring it up, and like I said, I know people feel like they see that tulling effect. It just doesn't look like quite like a tulling effect to me. I think it's maybe how they're presenting. I'm not quite sure, but it just, it presents really well, and I don't have a lot of that tulling effect that some people say they see. I don't see it. I think it actually presents really awesome, and this is pretty cool that Steiner's doing this. I hope there's more companies going to be doing this. I hope Trigicon comes in close soon and starts to do this too, because I think Trigicon is really missing out on that right there. I think really they can do at least a closed emitter and I don't know, maybe a slightly larger RMR. That'd be pretty sweet. You know, just like an RMR X maybe. That'd be pretty awesome, just slightly bigger. But yeah, that'll be everything for these, and let's go ahead and hop into conclusion and my final shooting experiences. Before we get into this next subject, if you guys can go ahead and please hit the like and subscribe, and go ahead and drop a comment in there, man. It makes me super happy to see some of the comments going on, some of the banter back and forth between some of the guys, like in the Bull Armory and Staccato videos. It's just some people are really dedicated to one or the other, and they're both honestly great. I love them both. But man, go ahead and hit that like and sub, and yeah, I really appreciate that. For my conclusion on the Steiner MPS, to be totally honest, it's very positive. The only one gripe I'm gonna say is that I wish the battery life was a little bit longer, but outside of that one battery life has to be a little longer, I literally have zero issues with it in every way. I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it comes up and shows for presentation. I like the buttons. I like the size of the window. I like the mounting option because it's similar to the 509T and Aimpoint Acro and all of that. And to be totally honest, it's a really great site. And you can get these picked up used. I've actually seen this used for the cheapest one I've seen for is $380, in all honesty. I almost want to say $350, but I've never really seen $350. I wanted to offer the guy $350 at one point, but I just let it go. But I've seen this literally someone asking $380 used, and it looked absolutely mint. And man, that's a great price for a closed emitter. That's right up there with some of the, I know I've seen some 509Ts close to the 300s and stuff like that, 350s. But that's really up there. So that means that you can find these, and brand new, they're $400. I think I've seen this on Amazon for, I believe, $385 or $390 at one point on sale. I can't remember what holiday it was, but it was on sale, and Amazon brand new for that price as well. So you can pick these up all around, and the mounting's really nice. Now be mindful though, the mounting of these, I know they say that it's like the Aimpoint Acro P1 or something like that, and it's not. It does not mount very well across both platforms. There are some slight differences between the Aimpoint Acro over here. Let me just grab this real quick. There is some slight differences between the Aimpoint Acro and the Steiner MPS in regards to their footprint. They don't just mount right up. I've definitely had some experiences now with trying to use different plates between using this one or a P1 plate, which I had, and then I had one from Steiner as well, and I was doing vice versa, and they just don't go back and forth. So some of the stuff that I saw and read online about some of the plates working with each other, maybe these are just newer ones, so they have made slight changes, but they are just not compatible like that, and they do not mount properly. So they are now their own individual, so you can call them the Acro footprint, but they're slightly different in some way, shape, or form. And obviously, when you look at the plates, they look a little bit different. But this is obviously, this is like Dawson's, and this one is by Agency Arm, which is now Vortex, and before it was used to CNH. So it's not quite the same, but awesome, man. I honestly had a really positive experience at this range. It was super fun, super easy to bring up, and find the dot. I was able to get really easy crisp follow shot. The dot on this, I want to say, is actually, I feel like it's a little crisper than the 509T. And the reason why I say this is because I have stigmatism, and so for example, like the dot to me is double the size. So what a 3X may look to you is going to look like a 6X to me. It looks like significantly bigger, like more than double the size at times. And this one straight up looks like if it was to be like 4 MOA. It's just a little smaller, and I'm actually able to notice it compared to my 509T that this one it's just a guess. I don't know, maybe it's the way that they did the lenses or something like that, but it's just a little bit cleaner to me. And yeah, I really appreciate that, because obviously with astigmatism, that little center is kind of splotched out and you can't really identify the center well. And this one, I can identify a good, nice center. So I really like that. Yeah, absolutely positive experience, man. This is an awesome optic. It probably will not be for everybody, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. And if you already have a 509T and you have another firearm and you want to get another close emitter, and you maybe want to try something new, I think this is a great way to go. And if you have no close emitter and you want to have one, and you're not sure if you want the Hollow Sun or if you want the Steiner, or if you want this one, and you're just, looking around, man, do not sleep on the Steiner. Like I said, this is an absolutely amazing optic. I really enjoyed it. It's going to stay and live on this one most likely. And as you can see, the Q5's got now that new CNH plate with the 508T. I have the Acro on that one. I got my 509T in the other. So these are probably their final resting homes in these manners. And obviously, I'm going to be daily carrying this around so I can continue to do an extensive review on this one in regards to taking it around and shooting it. And just, I want to give you the best that I can with these reviews. So, but that'll be everything for this one, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'd like to ask you guys to please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. It goes an incredibly long way into my channel. I'm still trying to grow my channel and just trying to get much bigger, man. I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers right now. And if you guys can help me out get there, I would greatly appreciate it. But that'll be it, everything, man. You guys enjoy their day. And yeah, stay safe out there.